everybody. Welcome in. Welcome in. It's a little chilly out, but we're making it work. See who jumps on in today. Welcome in, everybody. We're going to be diving into what it says on the screen. So, self-growth. Anything you guys are struggling with, you're trying to advance within your life, you could throw down any questions and you'll get them answered. So, welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. I've been running my coaching practice, my self-development coaching practice for the last year and a half. And I've helped over 100 men and women transform their lives. So we're here to give you guys some free advice. What's going on, Ella? Welcome back. What's going on, everybody? What's going on? It's warmer out today than it was the last few weeks, so get some time outside. Here we go. All right, throw some questions down below, guys. We just started the live, so we should have a bunch of more people joining us, but welcome in the first few people. You guys can feel free to throw some questions down below of stuff you're struggling with, you're trying to advance within your life. We're going to give you guys some advice, give you guys some guidance. What's going on YouTube? We got YouTube over here. We got TikTok over there. What's going on, guys? Feel free to ask for any advice down below. We'll help you guys out. Welcome in. Welcome in. It's a nice day outside. It's a nice day. You guys hear me okay? I don't have my mics on today, so hopefully you guys can hear me okay. Usually have my mics on when I'm outside. What's going on, Ice? You cut off your family, you feel sucky now? Why did you decide to cut off your family? Do you feel like there was a lot of valid reasons, or you kind of blew up a little bit? Your mom was toxic. Well, if it was just your mom that was toxic, why do you have to cut off your whole family? Why can't you just spend less time talking to her? Or your siblings went along with her? What was the situation? What's going on, Daniel? Welcome in, everybody. Yeah, your siblings went along with her. What was the situation or situations? You were walking with your girl. She left me to walk with her friends. It was a male, by the way. Yeah, if your girlfriend has male friends, you need to have a conversation with her about that. There's not that many reasons as to why she has to be friends with a dude if you're her man. So that needs to be confronted. What's going on, Azu? Welcome in. Alrighty. Just started the live a few minutes ago. Let's see some more questions come in. User, what's going on? Welcome in, everyone. You're sad right now. What are you sad about? Maybe I can help you out. Feel like I have better peace cutting them off? Okay. Well, have you tried to have conversations with them in depth, individually? Because sometimes in group settings, people will go along with each other, but individually, they're like, yeah, I kind of see your side, right? And that's where you can form an actual individual relationship with somebody. You're sad because you felt betrayed. By who and what situation? Who said, why do you like helping people? It's a good question. I was diagnosed with depression when I was 13 years old. Dealt with it until I was 16, and I was able to completely overcome it. So I have a very strong passion for helping people transform their lives as I did it for myself. That's one of the many reasons as to why I like helping people. Is it normal for a guy to tell his girlfriend she can't go on girls' trips once or twice a year? Grayson, this is a good question. This is a very controversial one. So I'll give you my I'll try to give you a non-biased perspective on this. So you have to look at the outside circumstances of what a girls' trip entails. Now, that being said, if you're going on a girls' trip with 4 of your friends that are girls and they all have relationships or are married and you're not going out to bars and clubs, then I think it's pretty acceptable. But if you're a woman who's in a relationship and you're going to bars and clubs, even if it's just with your friends, your man knows that there are many other guys out there. And even if your man trusts you, he doesn't trust them, and he shouldn't, and neither should you. So, yeah, I know you might then say to yourself, well, I can take care of myself, I'll just reject them. It's about the environment. It's just there's not And it's like, oh, let me go dance with my friends. Why can't you dance with your friends with a speaker that's blasting in your apartment? Now, that being said, I know it's different. But here's the thing. If it's a girls' trip where you guys are doing something fun and it doesn't involve bars and clubs, I think it is potentially acceptable when you're in a relationship to go on a girls' trip. But if you guys are just, especially if you're a girl in a relationship and the girls' trip that you're going on, your friends are single, that's a problem. Because your single friends are going to try and influence you. But Grayson, if you want to shoot me a follow and a DM about like what the situation is, would love to dive into it with you. What's going on, everyone on YouTube? We got TikTok over here. Let's see. We're going to, oh yeah, Grayson, if your boyfriend is not letting you go on vacation with your family, that's a problem. Girls trip is a different story. I can get behind that. He doesn't want you going on vacation with your family. That's a problem. If your man is trying to take you away from your family, I mean, and you're close with your family, I don't know. There's not really that much reason for that, if any at all. Kenan said, I have a work crush. How do I get over it? Because he has a girlfriend. I want to be over it out of respect. Okay, well, that's a respectable question to ask. You have to acknowledge that you have a crush on him because you like either the way he looks, you like the qualities about him, he's an attractive person. Find that in somebody that's not taken. Use those as your values and connect to them. So this could be a learning experience. Yes, I did have conversations that always ended up being blamed for everything. Yeah, if you're being blamed for everything, it's a problem. That's so amazing. Appreciate it too. You were a model, my good sir? I don't think so, but thanks. By her, she was playing the male friend. She saw me looking from afar and she didn't even come over. Yeah, how old are you? Are you like 13 or 14 years old, or are you in your 20s or something? What about a cruise? Yeah, cruises are also questionable, because everybody knows what happens on cruises. People like to hook up with each other. Oh, also, there is a very high rate of people cheating on their partners on cruises. Every single one of my friends or people that I know that have been on cruises, they tell me the stories. I haven't been on a cruise myself yet. They all tell me the stories. This girl's cheating on her boyfriend, and look, it's an easy way to do it. I'm never gonna see him or her ever again. It's a fun experience. I'm on vacation without my partner. It shows you have a lack of values and you shouldn't be in the relationship. Now, that being said, if you are if you know for certain you're 100% committed to your partner and you're going on a cruise with your family, you can't. I mean, I don't think he should stop you from doing that. You can have a conversation about how he feels about it, and you guys can understand each other, right? Let's see. How do I get over? We already dived into that. Hi, Guardian Angel said, hi, for long-term burnout, what do you recommend? Long-term burnout. Okay, so if you're burnt out, you want to see where the breaking point was for you, and what was it that got you out here? Because here, it's not, burnout just doesn't come from working hard. It comes from working hard, even if you're connected to something, with zero rest. Like, stop convincing yourself you need to work 24/7. If you're at a stage in your life where you have to work 12 hours a day, like I am, do it. But you have to give some level of time to yourself to make you feel grounded, and you have to be present and learn to do that. But Guardian Angel, if you're struggling to do that, shoot me a follow and shoot me a DM about this, and we'll dive into it. Everyone gets blank on cruises, I'd imagine. Meg said, oh, holy toxic mindset. Yeah, women who aren't in tune with their feminine essence will hear perspectives like that and just say, oh my god, that's toxic, because it's an easy out for you to not actually consider your partner's perspective. You seem like a very kind soul. I appreciate that. I was wondering if you had any advice on dealing with a narcissist. Okay, well, here, I get this question a lot. Here's one thing you have to be careful of. Narcissism is very extreme. Massive ego. Zero consideration for other people. This person that you're talking about, if they're diagnosed with narcissism, I'm not going to argue with you on this. Be careful of labeling people as narcissists. They might just have a big ego, and they might not care that much about people, but they're not a narcissist. That's really extreme. But let's just assume that you are dealing with somebody who has a very high ego. They don't care that much. You can't convince them to start caring. You can have conversation with them and ask them to change their behavior. Appreciate the heart. But if they just decide to not change their behavior and have an honest conversation with you about how this is negatively impacting you, you can't keep dealing with them. Don't try and convince them of these things. When you have to convince people of things, you're trying to change their perspective in somewhat of a manipulative way. It's only an invitation of people to change their behavior and perspectives. If they don't want to change, you can't get them to change. Stop spending time with them. All right, let's see. It's a good question, though. And yeah, Clementine, if you want to shoot me a follow and a DM about this, of like what the situation is, we'd love to dive into it. Matt on YouTube said, I have my own YouTube channel. Very nice. What type of content do you do? He says family is only him and my kids, not my grandparents. That doesn't make sense. Your boyfriend is saying the only family is you and your kids, or maybe your husband, not your grandparents. The only reason you are alive is because your grandparents existed and had kids. So for him to say that they're not family, it just logically doesn't make sense. Do you have any advice on falling out with a best friend, not romantic, just platonically? Okay. Yeah, I mean, look, it's a hard experience, especially if you've known this person for a long time, but it's about understanding that if you had a falling out, there's a reason for it. And maybe you're on separate paths now, and you have different beliefs about the world, and you guys argue all the time, and it's not conducive to for you guys to be in a relationship together. It could also be that the falling out is because you guys aren't being mature about it, and acknowledging that you can have disagreements and still be friends. But I don't know what the situation is. So, Brad, if you want to shoot me a follow, you already follow me. If you want to shoot me a DM about like what the in-depth situation is, we'll love to dive into it with you. This is a really good question. You guys are asking some good questions today, and we only started the live like 10 minutes ago. How to stop being pessimistic. So, with pessimism, you have to understand that the reason your mind gravitates towards that philosophy and state of consciousness is because you have evidence to back it up. People have hurt you before, family screwed you over, ex-boyfriend or girlfriend was bad. You've had bad experiences, so you feel pessimistic. You're also probably watching the news and what goes on in different countries and different parts of your country, and like, oh my god, the world's such a bad place. Yes, of course, there's many bad things that happen in this world, but there's also a lot of good things. You're just not paying attention to them. So every time something good happens in your life, you overlook that, start to focus on the bad. Start to wake up in the morning and be grateful. Write down 5 things you're grateful for. Right before you even get out of bed, think to yourself, what am I grateful for today? One of those things, my favorite one, is I'm grateful I woke up today, because some people didn't. That's a good place to start for you. You'll start to see the positive things that are happening in your life, and also some of the things that you're doing to contribute to that negativity so you can start to shift it. Money Mike on YouTube said, get a job, lil bro. I used to have jobs. Then I quit them, or actually got fired from one. Then I went to another one. And then I started my businesses, and I help people transform their lives. So, Monkey Mike, I'm never going to get another job again. I'm just going to run my businesses and do what I love. But thanks for your perspective. All right, let's see. So, I just want to know, why does a man cheat on a girl? Well, there's many different reasons. Sometimes it's a lack of maturity, a lack of control over his sexuality. He doesn't actually understand what commitment is, and he's not connected to that. Maybe he really isn't attracted to you that much. There's a billion different reasons for this. Now, Amy, if you got cheated on, or you're worrying about your partner doing it or something of that nature, shoot me a follow and a DM about what's going on, and I can kind of dissect it with you and see what could be the reason here. Leah said, tips for entering university again. I'm 22 and freaking out over being late. Haha, you give it amazing advice. What's going on, Leah? I appreciate the compliment. Okay. Tips on starting uni again. Hold on one second. My comments moved. Tips on starting university again. 22, freaking out over being late. Okay, well, here's the question. Are you freaking out about being late and you've been late before consistently? Or are you just projecting this in your mind? Because if you're worrying about something that's not in reality and existence, throw that out the window. Start to affirm to yourself, I'm going to get here on time, and make sure that you plan your mornings or afternoons that you will. Now, if you are being late consistently, it's usually a lack of priorities. I know the things that I'm almost never late to a coaching session with my clients. With certain people that I hang out with on a Friday night, sometimes I don't mind being late. And sometimes they get mad about it, and I can understand that. But it just shows where your priorities are. People aren't just lazy for no reason. It's because you don't see the full reason. You're not connected to the full vision as to why you're doing this thing. Try to get a little bit more connected to that, and that can help out. Hi, can I ask a question? Are there 2 levels of realizing death? When you say, are there 2 levels of realizing death, could you rephrase the question? I'm not sure exactly what you mean by that. Grayson said, if I wanted to sleep in a different bed because the bed I was sore from my body and I was not comfy, should the boyfriend get mad and break my belongings when he wakes up by himself? He throws a huge fit. Grayson, I'm going to highly recommend you. I think I already suggested it, but based on everything you're throwing down here, I highly recommend you shoot me a DM because there's a lot of stuff we got to dive into here. There's a lot of incongruencies in your relationship that we got to dive into. That is not normal, to answer your question. Would you take electricity as your superpower, but every watt you consume adds to your monthly bill? We're not going to do hypothetical questions. We're helping people transform their lives. Why a man cheats on a girl more than 4 times when you ask for a breakup he doesn't want to? Well, here's the thing. You're playing the victim here. Now, here's the thing. You technically are a victim in some capacity. You got cheated on. But you got cheated on more than 5 times, and you're asking to break up with him. You're asking him for permit. He's shown you he does not commit to you. He doesn't care about you. Yeah, he cheats on you once. Maybe it's salvageable. 5 times, more than 5 times, and you're sitting here and asking me. I'm asking him to break up, and he won't let me. Now, that being said, if this is like a really toxic dynamic where like you genuinely feel like you can't leave, shoot me a DM about that, because that's going to be deep. But if it's not the situation like that, and you can leave and you're just afraid to, this is not the man for you. He's shown you that time and time again. So, please, feel free to shoot me a DM about this. Can you check my DM? Yeah, if I didn't get back to your DM, and you shot me a DM the other day, just shoot me a DM again so it goes to the top of my inbox. Why am I outside? Because it's nice out. Do you have advice on opening my eyes to this existential blankscape we all live in? Well, you're focusing on only the negative and the pessimism of this, like a question we were answering a few minutes ago. There is positivity in this world. You're just not looking at it. You're not cultivating it. You're not creating it. You're only focusing on the negativity. And if you're just like, oh, the world is hell, everything's bad, you're just going to try and cope for the rest of your life. And I can't help you do that. What I can do is help you transform and not view life in that capacity. But if you're asking me just the question of, hey, just how do I deal with the hell of life? I don't know if I can help you out with that, because that's your perception that's holding you back, and that you have to change. All right, let's see. Can't believe he said that. Said what? Any successful coach isn't live streaming on TikTok. Thanks for your perspective, but I've helped over 100 men and women transform their lives. My ex said she misses me, but she posted another dude after our breakup. She crossed the line. She's saying she misses you. When did you guys break up? Aloof said, yeah, okay, buddy. What happens when you wake up and realize that life isn't a gift? Brother, I can't help you. If you're going to keep throwing comments down like this, oh, life isn't a gift, it's all bad, blah, blah, blah. Like, you're coming on here, I'm helping people transform their lives, and you're just asking me questions, how do I cope with the nihilistic experience of life? You're going to the wrong guy. You got to go to somewhere else for that, brother. I don't know who's going to help you out with that. Advice for a young person, I'm 18, working and doing my landscape business on the side. If you're 18, working and doing landscaping, brother, you're doing more than most 18-year-olds are doing. Keep going. That's what my advice would be for you. Tommy said, what's going on, everyone on YouTube as well? Let's see. Hold on. All right, for those of you guys that are spamming the same comment, don't do that. Just throw your comment down once, I'll get to you. How do you get over a girl you're emotionally attached to? You have to process the emotions. The sadness, the anger, the resentment, the fear. Don't run away from it. It's in your avoidance of that you're going to realize a year down the line you're still attached to her. If you actually feel this, look at the lessons of this experience, and adopt that to change your life and choose better partners in the future. That's going to help you out. A lot of our problems come when we're avoiding things. She unadded me on Snap. What should I do to get her back? If you're trying to get a girl back that doesn't like you, you're asking me the wrong questions. You should be asking how do I move on? Here's the deeper component that you have to reflect upon. Why am I chasing somebody that doesn't want me? Do I feel like I deserve love? Do I feel like I deserve somebody that just chooses me and I don't have to fight for them? And then people say to me like, "Oh my God, no, Brad, you gotta fight for your love." Yes, you do. When you're in the relationship and you're going through struggles. But she's unadding me, she's blocking me. How do I get her back? She doesn't want you, bro. Go to someone else. User 56 whatever says, no offense, but you have a bottom 5 personality, face, and voice combo. I'm in an exceptionally fulfilling relationship with my girlfriend, so you can come on here and spew all the whatever you want. But user, just know that you have 0 username, and I'm not gonna say anything. You don't have your profile picture, right? Because you're afraid to show people who you are. You feel comfortable coming into a comment section and just trash talking, right? Because you don't have anything better to do. So, brother, maybe you're a girl. I hope that everything gets better for you. I hope that you find your passion. I hope that your life gets better. Because clearly right now it's not that great. Do you think finding a relationship is necessary? Or is it just a norm due to our social construct? This is a really good question. Well, it's worth understanding that you have needs, and some of those needs can't be met just by self-love and by yourself. For example, we were built to create children, to be in families. And psychology research backs up time and time again. We are built to be in human connection with people. It's not to say it's impossible to not be happy no, short term, yeah, you could be happy without a relationship partner. Long term, a lot of people who prioritize like career over ever finding a relationship, once they reach their 40s and 50s, like their happiness starts to go down quite quickly. Because they realize, like, I'm just alone, and I have this money, but I have nobody to share it with, and nobody that loves me, and nobody that I love, and I'm just isolated. That's not a fun experience. So I do think finding a relationship, for most people, is a necessity. It is a necessity. I'm very confident in saying that. But it doesn't have to come instantaneously. You don't have to be in a relationship the second. But Thea, that's a good question. Feel free to shoot me a follow. Would love to see you back in here. Liz said great advice. I'm glad it resonates. Is my name Dr. Phil? No. Tell me what to do with overthinking and looping thoughts. Well, your mind is like a homing missile. If you don't control your mind, it's going to go to 10,000 different directions. But here's the thing, if your thoughts are looping and you're overthinking, it's probably because your subconscious is trying to get you to pay attention to a certain part of yourself, a certain emotion, a certain belief, a certain opinion. You overthink about it, but you avoid actually trying to solve the problem. So you keep overthinking about it because it's like this part of you, it's like, I need attention. Your anger is like, angry thoughts come up, overthinking about anger. The anger is like, I need attention, I need you to process this. And you're just like, no. So it keeps coming up. But you have the power to direct your mind. For example, you can choose to think a negative thought right now or choose to think a positive one. You literally have power to do that. So start to control your mind. How to deal with a relationship where your feelings aren't reciprocated enough. You're not the right people for each other. If the feelings aren't reciprocated, it's not your job to convince them to like you. They're supposed to naturally be in tune with you. If that's not happening, probably not the right relationship. All right. Stop disassociating as a way to not feel hurt at times. Oh, stopping disassociating. All right, hold on. If you disassociate every time you feel hurt, you have to understand that you have a negative association to your emotions. You feel whatever. Think about reflect upon what is the burp. What is the label you give yourself when you feel sad, angry, upset, frustrated? Do you label yourself as I'm weak, I'm not enough, I can't feel this, right? Look at the label, because that's creating the narrative of how you avoid your emotions further. If you can understand at the deepest level possible, hey, experiencing my emotions allows me to actually process them and move forward in my life, then it's a little bit exciting when sadness comes up, because it's like, ooh, sadness that I get to process and not bury deep inside my soul for it to come up 5 years later and destroy my life. This is exciting, right? So that's a good perspective to start with. And Burp, if you want to shoot me a follow and a DM about like the in-depths of your situation, we'll love to dive into it. Soup on YouTube said, I'm focusing on myself and career, but I'm also trying to find a boyfriend and girlfriend, everything in moderation. Yeah, moderation in some capacity, but I mean, I don't know what you mean by moderation. You could focus on all of them without like using the word moderation. Should I ghost or not? No, you definitely shouldn't ghost people. That's exceptionally immature. If you don't want to talk to them anymore, have a conversation with them about it and tell them why. How did I decide I wanted to be a life coach? I was diagnosed with depression at 13, dealt with it until I was 16, and then I got obsessed with self-development, psychology, philosophy over the next 7 years of my life. I started my coaching practice a year and a half ago, and I've helped over 100 men and women transform their lives. So that's what a little bit of what got me started. You need advice on how to live. All right, well, what area of life? Nice gloves, thanks. What's going on, Jack? Yeah, I'm a little chilly. How to have the, Nebu? I can't answer that question on here. You gotta shoot me a DM about that. Nice to see you, Sonico. I'm doing good. How are you? What's going on, Michael? How do you move forward in life despite not being able to work anymore because of a medical condition? All right, this is a good question. All right, well, it's not that you may not be able to work a normal job anymore, but it's not that you can't do anything. Well, I don't know what the medical condition is, so if you want to shoot me a DM about it, Walls, I'll be able to kind of point you in the right direction. Because if I don't know anything about the medical condition, I can't really advise you of things that you can do because I don't know what you can do. Dynamical, can you please reply to my DM? Of course. I don't get back to everyone's DM. My DMs are flooded. But Dynamical, if I didn't get back to you yet, just shoot me a DM again right now so it goes up to the top of my inbox and I'll get back to you. For me, anti-blank stopped rumination and anxiety. Yeah, I mean, look, if you're on medication and it's prescribed by a medical professional, it can definitely help in aiding in your growth. Just don't only take the medication. You got to work on other things too. Must Love Pika said, partner values friends more. Disrespects me in front of them and hides info. Am I overreacting? No, you're not overreacting. There's a reason, especially as a woman, you want your man to prioritize. You want your man's priority to be work and his passions and you. And friends are priorities too. But if you're going to be the woman he spends the rest of his life with, you better be number one. And if you're not, and he's disrespecting you on top of that and hiding information on top of that, you are not overreacting. So please shoot me a follow and a DM about what the in-depth situation is, and I'll help you out. What is slow burn love? How does it show? I've never heard of slow burn love. What is that? Is that when like somebody slowly falls out of love? What is that? Hey, Unc, how do I pull baddies? Go up to them, tell them they're cute, have a conversation with them. Alright, let's see. Thanks, mate. Yeah, of course. How do you get a girlfriend? Start to talk to women. That's your first step. Is accountability in week 3 of a talking stage wrong? Well, it depends on what you're trying to hold them accountable for. Because the answer might be yes or no. Liking the scenery. Awesome. My boyfriend has MDD. What should I do as a partner? What is MDD? I'm not familiar with it. Or maybe I am. I just don't know the shortened version of it. Best advice on dealing with an avoidant? They have to change their behavior. if they are constantly avoiding any serious conversations, they might not have the capacity to be in a long-term relationship. But the cool thing about people who are avoidance is they can change. They just have to desire to. So Cam, if you want to shoot me a follow and a DM walking me through like the actual in-depths of this person and your relationship to them, I'll be able to have a better scope of it to point you in the right direction of how you can actually experience this and work this out with them instead of, just calling it quits and leaving because they're avoiding things. Hello. I want to leave my career, but I stay for the stability and security for my family. Weren't you the one that was just trolling in the comments? Or maybe you're a different user. I want to leave my family. No, I want to leave my career, but I stay for the stability and security for my family. Okay, so keep working your career, and on your downtime, find something that you could replace it with, whether it's a business that you could start or a different career or something that you truly care about. Because if it's providing stability and security for your family and you just quit your job now, it's not going to do that anymore. Do not just quit your job. Spend a significant amount of time outside of work to find what else you could do. This is not the end for you. It's just the beginning. Do we need purpose? Absolutely. I have intrusive thoughts that cause rumination about 3 intense events, and it overcharges my brain, and it fries my brain. Okay, well, yeah, I'm definitely curious if you want to shoot me a DM about this unknown, what those events are, because that'll give me a better scope of how to help you through this. How to get a boyfriend as a guy? It's a good question. I do have quite a few gay clients. It's very challenging to, like a lot of dating advice I give to people is, meeting people in person, but for gay couples, or gay guys, it's a little bit more difficult to do that. Now, that being said, there may be certain groups that you can find on social media that, like, it's like, hey, only gay people are gathering at this part of the city or this restaurant at this evening. So you can look at things like that. Dating apps can work, but a lot of my gay clients, the dating apps usually don't work. But we could dive into it a little bit deeper. All right, let's see. Relationship and spirituality. I don't think that was a question. Man. Hold on. Oh, jeez. Sorry, guys. Give me a second. My nose is acting up. Alright, slow burn love is a relationship that gradually grows over time rather than the spark or lust, or I don't know. Slow burn love is a relationship that gradually grows over time rather than a spark? Oh. So, like, you're friends with somebody and then you develop feelings? Yeah, I mean, that's possible. But I do think, when it comes to physical attraction and then mental attraction, you need to be physically attracted to them, like, basically the second you meet them. Because then it's kind of like, you're kind of, like, settling a little bit. You're like, I'm not attracted to them, but then 6 months later I am. Like, you're not primally drawn to them. I have a purpose. It's to ensure that every blank on the list gets punished. Are you a politician? If not, I don't know how you're going to do that. You might want to focus on something else. How to choose the partner for life? Well, it's not about... You have to connect to your values, your vision, and to make sure that your partner shares that. You know how to communicate. You don't yell at each other when you argue. And there's always a calmness in the presence that you guys have for each other. But Safi, if you want to shoot me a follow and a DM about this, would love to kind of point you in the right direction. Also, just as an announcement, real quick, I'm starting a free women's coaching group. We're meeting bi-weekly. We got 15 girls in there already. We're diving into self-growth, relationships, spirituality, and it's going to be completely free. So any women that are on this TikTok Live or YouTube Live, and you guys want free coaching, genuinely transform your lives with other women who are doing it too, shoot me a DM about it. Just say, hey, I want to join the women's group, or I'm curious about it. I'll tell you about it. All right. Would you save me? What do you mean, would I save you? What is maintenance text every day for a month? What is maintenance text every day for a month? No calls, long distance talking stage. Wait, when you say what is maintenance text every day for a month? I don't know what that question means. But no calls, long distance talking stage. I think it's important for you to call, especially if you're long distance. I want to end a serious relationship because it turns out I have avoidance issues. How do I act? Yeah, so if you want to end a serious relationship because you have avoidance issues, you might be making the wrong decision. And being with this person may allow you to work on yourself and become the best version of yourself, and you may be sabotaging yourself by breaking up with them potentially. Avoidance can be worked on. If you have a tendency to avoid things, it's because you have a fear of confrontation. You have a fear of the truth. You have a fear of disagreements. Maybe you've been hurt in the past. Maybe people never listen to you. So you feel like your voice isn't heard of. So anytime you give your perspective, nobody's going to listen. So you should just leave and avoid. Look at where this stems from. Because if you're just like, I'm going to end the relationship because I feel like avoiding, you're sabotaging yourself. And that's not a good tendency to have. But acknowledge the pattern you have. Don't shame yourself for it. Just understand the small step you can do to change. So Joe, if you want to shoot me a follow and a DM walking me through where you avoid in your relationship, I'd love to dive into it with you. Padrewski said, I'm going to stay single forever. Okay, cool. Let me know how your mental health is in 40 years. I don't know why you're choosing to stay single forever. You've probably been hurt before and you're just projecting that. Don't do that. Please don't live for the world. It's no joke. I don't know what you mean by that. What's the first priority? Self-growth, relationships, or spirituality? They're all intertwined together. So you want to focus on all of them. But if you're starting from nothing, then start with self-growth and spirituality. How to choose wisely a person if I was dreaming about someone else, but I have an attachment to my ex. You have an attachment to your ex. You gotta work on your attachment to your ex. You gotta move on from them before you get into another relationship, because then you're gonna sabotage the whole thing. And then when you're sleeping with your partner, you're gonna be thinking about your ex. It's not a good card to play. I appreciate it. Definitely following you. Hey, I'm glad it resonates. I don't want to study anymore. It's too much for me. Okay, well, how long have you been studying for? Are you in university? Are you in high school? Is it enough for a busy person to send good morning and how was your day every day? No, because I run two businesses. I'm working constantly every day, and my girlfriend works 9 to 5 and then goes to class in the evenings during weekdays. So we're both exceptionally busy. We say good morning every morning, and we check in throughout the day when we have a minute. It takes about 15 seconds to pick up your phone and send a text to somebody. Now, me and my girlfriend don't constantly text all day, but yes, absolutely, we check in. She just texted me I think 10 minutes ago when I was on this live. I'm not getting back to her yet because I'm on here, but right after I'm done, I'll get back to her. Can you chat me privately? You can shoot me a DM. I don't know what it's about. Clicking on your profile. Your profile literally says not scam, so you're definitely a scammer. That's actually crazy. That's actually insane. That's actually wild, bro. Let's see. Hold on. God bless you. Nice to meet you. You too. How to have the balance in life between career and love life? Well, it depends on where you're at in your life. If you're 18, 20 years old, career, and then, you hang out with your partner on the weekends, or, I don't know how far you guys live from each other. But it's about, hey, I'm working at the times I'm working, and I have things I care about and I'm passionate about, and I make time for myself. Hang out with your partner at least once or twice a week. Me and my girl, on average, we see each other once a week. Sometimes it's more than that. But we have an exceptional love life together, even though we're super busy. He reactivated military, became negative and stressed, takes it out on the relationship. He disagrees. Well, what is his disagreement on? What does he feel like he is doing instead? Here Comes the Storm said, you don't actually help people, you just ask them questions about their questions. Okay, Here Comes the Storm. I'm gonna put a real logical thing on you right now. Hopefully you can understand it. So when there's certain questions that people ask, I can just give answers, which I'm currently doing. There's other times where somebody asks a question where it's so general, without knowing the in-depth details, I can't answer it. So before you come on here and say I don't help people, think again. Hello, what's going on? Please, I'm suffering from chronic anxiety, and I feel so hard to breathe when it happens. All right, don't forget to take deep breaths. You can do that, right? The anxiety will obviously, your heart rate increases and you feel like you're, but but you can calm yourself, right? Take a few deep breaths, go outside, get some sun, right? Don't isolate yourself. That's one of the worst things you could do if you're having like an attack like that. But I'm definitely curious, like, where does the anxiety come up for you? Ricaro, if you want to shoot me a DM about it, would love to dive into it with you. I rejected a guy today, but I feel bad because I low-key was leading him on, but I can't do it. I feel like I'm an avoidant. Yeah, if you rejected a guy, here's the thing, you rejected him, but are you attracted to him and you rejected him, or you just aren't attracted to him? Because if you're not attracted to him and you rejected him, that's fine. If you were attracted to him and you're rejecting him, you're playing games, and yes, it could be that you have certain avoidant tendencies. This usually goes back to childhood. It usually goes back to the idea of love. There need to be games. There needs to be some level of manipulation, and that's not a good philosophy to hold for yourself. It's going to keep you very stuck in your dating life. It'll be fun for about a year, and then you'll be like, why am I so lonely? Why does everybody leave me? Oh, it's because of me. So yeah, I don't know what your name is on TikTok. It's like a wing. If you want to shoot me a follow and a DM about how you're avoiding these situations, would love to dive into it. Dynamical said, I meant in the talking stage, is that enough? How was your day and what are you doing? Or men are like, that's no question about me. In a talking stage, is that enough? Well, how you're long distance? How long distance are you? You yeah. What is the situation? Because if you don't know each other and you're 3 months, if you're 3 weeks into talking to somebody new, and you don't even know each other, and you're just asking how your day is going, you don't know anything about each other, and like, what are we really doing here? We're just giving each other attention. Like, you got to dive into the deeper components. I'm 20, studied IT for 2 years, but now I feel I can't spend all the time coding in front of my PC. Do you not enjoy it anymore? Adrian said, I have a fiance, but I'm a little bit scared to take the next step and get married. Can you give me some advice? Yeah, of course. Well, yeah, I mean, look, when it comes to getting married, this is a big commitment. You're deciding to be with somebody for the rest of your life. And it's going to be challenging. You guys are going to have disagreements. You guys are going to have things that you have to work through. But if it's like, if you can think to yourself confidently, Adrian, like, if I have to be with this person for the rest of my life, which is that's a commitment you're making. Like, how much fun do I have with this person? How much do I care about them? How much are we able to work through things? And if I can imagine myself being 80 years old and still laughing and being with them, and us being fulfilled together, this might be your person. If you're like, I don't know if I want to be with them for another 5 years, but we're thinking about getting married, might be making the wrong choice. So Adrian, if you want to shoot me a follow and a DM about where the fear is really coming up and how you feel like your relationship dynamic is, I'd love to point you in the right direction and help you out with this. What's the last name of the mighty Brad? Don't worry about it. Can looks maxing fix my anxiety? No, most likely not. Because your anxiety probably doesn't come from your looks. It's probably just a symptom. Now, with that being said, getting in the gym can help you build your confidence a little bit more, but it's probably not the only source of your anxiety. No, he's helping all of those answers are making sense. He's giving us the way in general how to solve. Could you rephrase that? In what age to enter a relationship? There's no particular age. It's just about maturity and committing to somebody. But people can't go into details with the live text limit, so why bother doing a live? Because I'm answering questions currently, as you can see if you're paying attention. I can't even get a job, 700 job applications, only 5 interviews, I'm tired of trying. What types of jobs are you applying to? Is it random ones, or what is the situation for you? Why do I always tend to have panic attacks at sleepovers? That's a good question. You don't feel safe? You don't feel safe in the place that you're sleeping? You don't trust the people that you're with? Walter said, what are your mental health credentials? I'm not a medical professional. I'm not a therapist. How to get out from a narcissist? Well, it depends on what the situation is. What is the exact person doing? Thanks for your advice. God bless you. You're a nice person. I appreciate you, Adriana. Yeah, Adriana, if you want to shoot me a follow and shoot me a DM about this, I'll be able to point you in the right direction. So I live in Italy. He lives in Norway. I don't know how far Italy and Norway are from each other, but I asked him a question. He only replies and doesn't ask back mostly. He might not be that interested. Did you guys meet in person at all? Or you just met on a dating app? How do I fix myself? I have anxious attachment. You have to see where the anxiety comes from. Also, yeah, look back at your childhood. What's the relationship like with my mom and my dad? If my mom never truly gave me attention, she was always like half out the door when talking to me, in your relationships that's going to create itself, because it's like, okay, I'm anxious that this person is going to leave. I have a fear of abandonment. There's always different things that come up here. Now, to heal this, you have to have a conversation with your partner about it. Right? I'll ask your part. There's nothing wrong with your partner giving you reassurance. Hey, I'm not leaving. I'm here. Right? Sometimes that's what you need, and that heals this. But if you don't address the deeper components, it could also just reinforce it. So, TAU, if you want to shoot me a follow and a DM about where you feel like the anxiety comes up for you in your relationships, would love to dive into it with you. Rose said, any jobs from fast food to office work? Okay. You said 700 jobs. That's a lot of jobs. Are there any places that you've walked into? Or you just applied to them online? I'm in a situationship with someone where she talks to another guy. Kind of waited for her... Wait, hold on. Situationship with someone where she talks to another guy. Okay. She knows, has feelings for her. But, like, she talks to me, she chooses me, and also this guy waited for her for 3 years. Yeah, well, look at the nature of your question. You're in a situationship. You're not in a relationship. She is open to doing. She is allowed to do whatever she wants. If you don't want her to do that, you gotta cuff her. And if she doesn't want to be cuffed, you either accept that you're just hooking up with her, or you gotta go find a girl that you actually connect to. These people aren't gonna change for you. They have to change for themselves. Where do I live? In the US. They used to talk a lot and even got into a relationship at some point. Oh, they got into a relationship at some point and they're still talking? Yeah, that's not always the greatest thing. How to get rid of stress in a day? Well, it depends on what's stressing you out. Where's the root cause for this? And is the stress an amount of stress that you are creating for yourself, more of it? For example, you might be stressed that you're sitting in traffic. Did you know that you don't have to be stressed about that? It's just an expectation. I'm not going to get home. It's going to be an extra 15 minutes of the drive. Oh my God, I'm so mad. You're creating that for yourself. This certain guy treats her terribly. Meanwhile, I'm the complete opposite. But I feel like she only goes to me whenever she needs someone. Okay, yeah, Scora. So I'm going to walk you through this. You ready? If this girl only goes to you when she wants a nice guy and goes to him when she wants toxic behavior, she likes that toxic behavior. And your relationship isn't going to work because she doesn't want a nice guy. You said, yeah, she's clearly a red flag, I know. So what are you doing? Why are you still here? Not here on the live, but why are you still in your situationship if you know it's not satisfying you? You lost your dog. How do I cope with it? Don't run away from the emotions. Hold on. Where'd my comment section go? There we go. Alright, hold on, guys. My comments moved. I'm gonna get to you guys. Met on a dating app. Never met because he works Sundays too, but his surface level questions every day. You guys, if you're 3 weeks into long distance talking, you have to go. You have to go on FaceTime. You gotta actually see each other, because you might just not like his energy, and just be like, why am I even talking to this guy? Don't waste your time. How do I stop having morbid thoughts? It's a good question, Walter. Well, it depends on what they're specifically around, right? Because it's like, well, also, where did this stem from? Because do I feel like the world's a bad... What's my philosophy on life? Do I feel like the world's a bad place? People aren't good? There's nothing coming for me? What are the struggles that you've been through? Your mind has evidence to back up these thoughts. That's why they're occurring. But they don't have to... Even if something was true yesterday, it doesn't have to be true tomorrow. The identity that you're holding on to, of thinking negatively, can change. This is a choice. Now, that being said, it doesn't happen overnight. If you're used to thinking negative all the time, I'm not just going to sit here and say, just start thinking positive and it's going to be great tomorrow. Like, no, it doesn't work like that. But you can if you start intentionally thinking positive, but not just blindly positive in areas that are actually positive. You're not delusional positive, like saying you love yourself when you clearly don't, but saying like, hey, I'm grateful that I woke up today, and you're like, okay, like I'm here and I'm struggling, but I'm still here and we're still working on this. Like that can help you point yourself in a little bit of a different direction and start cutting out negative language in your vocabulary. When you start to say, I'm not this, I'm not that, I'm not good enough, stop saying that. Every time your thought comes up and says that, when your thoughts come up and say, I'm not good enough, interrupt yourself and say, I am good enough. And I know the affirmation stuff gets a lot of hate, and sometimes I'm not a huge fan of it, but in a situation like that, it can be really helpful. So Walter, if you want to shoot me a follow and a DM about what the thoughts are for you personally, I'd love to dive into it with you further and help you out. Do you feel comfortable giving advice for trans people dating? One of my gay clients, well, I guess I can't say he's specifically gay since he's dating somebody who's trans, but I've helped him through it, so yeah, I do feel comfortable. What's the situation going on? Question: my brother's fighting with his wife, and trying to put me in the middle. What should I do? Tell him, hey, this is your marriage. I'm not involved in this. If you want advice from me, I'd be more than happy to have a conversation with you. I'm not going in the middle of your marriage. You guys decide to get married. Figure out your shit. Rose said, I've done both. I have 6 years in customer service and 2 years in management. Yeah, Rose, shoot me a DM about this because I want to have a deeper conversation about it. Scar said, thanks, bro. Yeah, of course. And Scar, if you want to shoot me a follow and a DM about this, you're asking some good questions. Is it okay? Oh, this is a really good question. This is a exceptional question. You ready? Hold on. Why does my comments keep moving? Is it okay to be a sensitive person? It's easy to cry even though it's just small things. Well, it depends on if you're a man or a woman. If you're a woman and you are very sensitive and you cry a decent amount of the time, you're getting closer to your feminine essence, which is beautiful. And even as a man, if you're crying all the time, there's some deeper components to look at, because crying as a man is very normal and healthy. We just think it's not. But crying all the time, every day as a man is a little bit different, because women are naturally going through a roller coaster of emotions. Men, if you look at their hormones, are a little bit more stagnant. So if you're, now that being, it depends on where's the sensitivity coming up. What are you sensitive to? And all the things that you're labeling as these are just small things and I'm sensitive about it, are they really small things? Or did somebody just convince you that it's a small thing? That's something to reflect upon as well. And I don't know what your name is. Stick Figure? ELYX. I know you already follow me. If you want to shoot me a DM about this, would love to dive into it deeper with you. Do you walk my neighbor's dog? No, I don't walk any dogs. The one time I went to a life coach, she said she wanted to... Okay, that's a really... what would the word be? Uneasy comment. So I'm not going to read that. Should I voice out my concerns about our dynamic or just let him be 2 months into talking? If you're 2 months into talking, you have to talk about your dynamic. Don't try and avoid this, because then it's just going to fail. At least talking about it gives you a chance to save this. I personally get stressed by health anxiety. Nothing is wrong with me, but I still get scared. Yeah, you gotta start looking at reality, because if you're living in your mind all the time, you're not living in your heart. If you are not, look, if you have health anxiety all the time, and like you're not going to the gym and constantly eating healthy food and showing yourself that you are having a healthy body, and you're just sitting there in your room and playing video games, you're like, oh my god, what if the health scare comes up? It's like, well, yeah, maybe it actually will, because you're not doing anything. But if you're showing yourself that you're a healthy person constantly, hey, I go on walks, I use my body, then you can see every day that your body is showing up for you. So there's no reason to worry about it. But if you aren't doing anything for your body, then the thoughts are going to come up. So that's a good place to start with you. And shoot me a follow. I would love to see you back in here. How to stop overthinking. Face the thoughts of overthinking. If you're overthinking all the time, your mind wants you to look at something. Don't keep rejecting that. How do I stay motivated when ends seem so far away? You have to connect to the vision around it. Everything in life, well, not everything, but a lot of things take a decent amount of time. So it's about not just motivation, it's about connection. How deeply do I want to build this in my life? How is this going to bring me happiness, contentment, fulfillment? And if you're like, I don't know if it will, then you might be pursuing the wrong things. You're trying to be motivated for something that might not even be the right path for you. He didn't follow up with what he said about planning a hangout, and that's supposed to make up for me something. I didn't see the rest of your comment. Hey, it's Brad. What's going on, Molly? Appreciate the follows, guys. Welcome in, everybody. My anxiety ended that. I told there's no communication, so he removed me, but he didn't unmatch me. Your anxiety ended it. You said there was no communication. Don't say, hey, there's no communication between us. Pick up the phone. Call him. You're a lifesaver. You're really good. I hope you have a great life, and bye. Glad it resonates. Feel free to shoot me a follow, and I'll see you back in here. Is it day there? I think so. Why can't I stop loving her? Because you care about her. It's not about destroying that care. It's simply about understanding that there's a reason why you guys aren't in each other's lives. And you can learn lessons from that and take that in all your future experiences. Do you think it's too late to start life at 28? Okay, well, here I want to challenge you on this already, Kenza. You ready? This is going to help you out. Do you think it's too late to start life at 28? I feel old and embarrassed. You're not starting life at 28. You started life when you were born. Do you feel like you're behind at 28? Sure, that's okay. But no, it's in no way, shape, or form too late. Kenza, please, if you feel called to, shoot me a follow and shoot me a DM about some of the stuff that you're trying to build in your life and what you feel a little bit stuck with, and I'll point you in the right direction. What do you think about working paycheck to paycheck? If you're in that experience right now, you might have to go through it, but you need to find a way out of that because you might be miserable forever doing that. I'm too worried about my academic future. Well, if you're consistently getting good grades and things of that nature, there's no reason for you to be worried about it. Thank you so much. I'm a female. Sounds good. Yeah, of course. You're good looking. Appreciate it. Cassandra said, do guys often change their mind about a second date while you're there to after you leave? Oh, were you saying like you went on a first date? Wait, change your mind. Yeah, you went on a first date and you planned a second date and he's questioning. Is that what you're saying, Cassandra? Can you rephrase your question, please? I'm in uni right now and I want to stop relying on my parents for money, but I don't know how to start. You can start by getting a job. You can also look a little bit into starting a potential online business. That's how I make a lot of my money. I did 45 minutes of yoga yesterday. Are you proud of me? I am. Good stuff. Done. I dropped a DM. Sounds good. I'll get back to you soon. Do you guys often change their mind about a second date from while you're there to after you leave? Only if he's not connected to you. But if you had a good first date and you planned another one, he's probably not going to cancel that. But Cassandra, if you're worried about this, there's some anxiety that's at play here, right? It's the projections, the mental ideologies. So feel free to, Cassandra, shoot me a follow and shoot me a DM about like what the situation is, how the first date went. And I'd love to dive into this with you further and help you out. Baby Binta said, how are you? I'm doing good. How are you? No, we already answered that question. Are you the guy from Fallout? I don't think so. Do I look like him? I never played that game when I used to play video games. I miss him. We never exchanged numbers. We had only Snapchat, but he moved on with a new girl. Forget about him. You gotta find someone else. Do I have expertise in sales? I do. What would you warn a 15, 16... Oh, this is a really good question. If you're 15 or 16 years old and you're asking me this question, you have a deep level of consciousness and awareness, which is beautiful to see. What would I warn a 15 to 16-year-old about? I would warn you about living your life for somebody else that isn't you. Listening to the expectations of other people, but it doesn't connect to your soul. So I would also warn you about listening to most dating advice of how you're supposed to play games and ghost people and it's fun and be with 5 girls at once. These are all going to allow you to Like, you'll learn from the experience for sure eventually, but you don't have to go through it. You can avoid that. So that's one of the first few things. Get really serious about already at 15, 16 years old. If you're thinking about this stuff, start to get serious about, what do I potentially want to do? Do I want to start a business? Do I want to go to university? Most people wait till they're 18, about to go to university. Oh, wow, what do I do with my life? Start thinking about this stuff now, and you're gonna be so ahead of the curve. And you're in a good place, man. You're in a good place. Feel free to shoot me a follow. Would love to see you back here. Do you prefer to stay with the company who has a less salary but you're happy with the work, compared to what? Because if maybe you find a company where you're happy you're there, who knows? But I don't know what the situation is. Age 29, live in the UK. I need a serious relationship with a girl. Shoot me a DM. I'll give you some stuff to work on so you can actually find a girl for you. How do I approach business better with my offer? Oh, Dylan, what is your offer? Cassandra said he did. He did what? I don't remember the original question. How to beat anxiety. Well, it's not about beating it, it's about integrating it. Take the anxiety and do something with it. If you are feeling anxious and then you go on a run, you go to the gym, that sometimes integrates it. You're able to take it and throw it away. But also, if the anxiety is surrounding a certain conversation you're avoiding, a certain thing that you're not doing, then it'll keep coming up. So you got to address the root cause of it. Figure out what that is. How can I start having a relationship but I'm afraid of men or commitment? Well, if you're afraid of men and commitment, you're not going to be able to start a relationship. Question is, why are you afraid of men? Question is, why you're afraid of commitment. You feel like he's going to leave you. If you feel like he's going to screw you over. You feel like he's going to treat you badly. If that's your perception of men, it will destroy you. Now, you may have reasons to back this up, which is understandable. Maybe you've been hurt before. Maybe you didn't have a good father figure, or not at all. Start to just talk to more men and having conversations, and you'll see certain ones that are good. Pay attention to those. They'll start to heal you. I have a girlfriend from a different religion which makes it hard for us to date. I feel insecure because I don't know what the rest of the question was. But let's just assume you feel insecure. That you have a different religion. Well, have you guys had conversations about this religious conversation? You're just kind of sitting in your mind about it. Do you guys want to have a conversation about it to see if you guys are going to be able to work through this? David said, escape the matrix and become a billionaire. It's low-key easy. Yeah, everyone just listen to David. It's that easy. 23 and still not figuring out my life? Shoot me a DM about it. I'll help you. How old do you think someone should be before getting into a serious relationship? You don't have to be a certain age. That being said, if you're 14 years old, you might not have the mental maturity to be in a long-term relationship. But I mean, look, there's certain 16, 17-year-olds that are exceptionally mature. Usually not, but it's possible. I think I like guys and guys only. What do I do with it? Start dating them. See if you really like them. Dylan said, save them money on things they're already using. Well, what are they already using? Well, what's the specifics of this? I can't help you sell something if I don't know what you're selling. How to get over the regret of sabotaging talking stages because of anxiety. The regret is only there because you feel like this is going to be a pattern for the rest of your life. That's an identity you're creating for yourself. If you can just understand that you look at why you sabotaged it and look at where your anxiety is showing up and start to work on that, this doesn't need to happen again. Then you don't need to regret it because you're going to find someone that's right for you. We had a great first date, but he wanted to see me while I was there, but canceled after I left. Maybe he just, well, in that case, then he probably, if he canceled it and doesn't want to then reschedule it, he didn't think you guys were a good fit, and he's just not being honest about that. So Cassandra, we could definitely dive into this in the DMs if you want. So maybe from your perception, it was a great first date, but if he didn't think it was a good first date, then yeah. Now that being said, if he's rescheduling the date, that's a different story. I don't know if maybe something actually came up for him. How can I overcome lust? You can't. It's a part of your biology. It's a part of your wiring. Just don't let it consume you, right? There's nothing wrong with walking in a busy mall and seeing a really attractive girl and saying, oh, she's really hot. There's nothing wrong with that. No, religious people will try to shame you and say, oh my God, that's the most horrible thing ever. You're going to hell. No, it's just a part of your biology. Just don't get consumed with it. That's the only thing you have to pay attention to. There's nothing wrong with feeling a lustful thought or thinking about it once in a while. Also, lusting after your partner while loving them at the same time can be a nice integration. It's not necessarily a bad thing. How do I stop obsessing over K-pop idols? Well, what do you obsess with about them? I'm in the U.S. I sell different services. Sorry, no worries to apologize. I just didn't know what you were selling, so I can help you out. Payroll, timekeeping, rewards programs, point of sale. Oh, so it's like systems. That's like a system for people selling. So you're selling to business owners? Or is it B2C or is it B2B? What if I don't want to date someone? What if I don't want to date someone? Just know them for marriage wise. What would I need to pay attention to? Are you saying you don't want to date someone just to date them? Or are you saying, like, I don't want to get married to them? Can you please rephrase that question? Is TikTok going to help me in the long run, or should I delete it? It's a good question. Well, if you're just consuming content all the time and not applying it, then you're wasting your time. But if you attend a TikTok live like mine, I give you some advice, you actually apply it and make your life better. TikTok can be a good way to help you out. But if you're just watching brain rot content, no, there's nothing about it that's helping you. You're 20 and you don't know what to do. What are you doing currently? Are you just sitting at home playing video games, or do you work? Do you go to school? What do you do? How can I overcome attachment from someone I loved? I still love him, but he broke up with me. Okay, you have to process the emotions. Do not run away from your sadness. Do not run away from your anger. Do not run away from your resentment, your guilt, your shame. Don't run away from any of it. Also, I have a few lectures I did in my coaching practice about overcoming heartbreak, as well as processing the pain. Excuse me. So, Melina, you want to shoot me a follow and a DM? Hey, could you shoot me over those lectures? I'll shoot them over to you for free. Yeah, and corresponding hardware as well. Okay, cool. So you're selling to business owners. Is it a specific industry, or you're just trying to sell to everyone? Because selling to everyone gets a little bit more challenging. That's the thing. I can't stop lust from consuming me. Your favorite Instagram models. Search up their names right now and block them. The hub. Go on your internet browser and block it. Delete the stimulus for it. Yep, like marriage, no dating for a long time just to meet, get to know, and marry. So you're saying you're trying to get to know someone within like the first 6 months and instantly get married? That's a bad idea. Do not put pressure on yourself to get married. If that's the goal, that can be great and beautiful. But if you don't want to date somebody, the point of dating is for an extended period of time before you get married is to make sure that you're marrying the right person. You don't want to just cut that process out of the equation. Because you can't get to know someone in 6 months, all of them. That's impossible. Do I need to find my husband or wait on God to give me? Well, oftentimes you can pray to God for a husband, but if you're sitting in your house all the time and you don't ever go out or talk to people, probably not going to come. So you can have your faith in God, but also go and talk to people. And go out there for yourself, too. How did I program myself to be successful? That's a good question. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm like exactly where I want to be in life. I'm still growing. But you have to believe it before it shows up in reality. Okay, thank you. Yeah, of course. People reject me because of my looks, ? I see people who look at the same as me, yet they get girls. If you think people reject you because of your looks, but other people look at the same as you, then it's not your looks. Maybe it's your personality, the way you present yourself, a lack of charisma, lack of passion, lack of skills. There's a lot of different potentials here. You don't flirt with people. You make it easy for people to reject you. There's a lot of different possibilities here. Yeah, Dylan, shoot me like more in-depth DM about like what exactly. I know more of an idea of what you're selling, but what your vision is for this. Yeah, you say I just saw your. I'm just realizing it's a longer convo. I'll DM you. We were thinking the same thing. A said God will punish me for lust? ? I mean, look, I'm not a part of a particular religion, so I cannot speak for your God. But look, as a man, your brain is biologically programmed to be attracted to people, and men and women too. You're attracted to people. So when you feel lustful, it's a normal human experience. It's like it's the rejection of love and the invitation of lust where it starts to, you're punishing yourself, is what I can say. So that's something that I'm into. What's the meaning of life? That's up for you to decide. But start to find purpose, passion, and love. That's a good place to start. I've texted you. Hope I'll get a response. You will get a response. Don't worry. I get back to everybody. Thank you. But do you recommend any activity to avoid thinking about that? What was your original question? Were you asking the question about lust? Gabrielle said, "What? Wait, what do you mean?" Just walked in. We're answering questions, Gabrielle. So I don't know what particular question I was asking with what you're questioning. Luana, I appreciate the comment, or I appreciate the compliment. How to be very wise like you. Well, I mean, look, I've been studying this stuff for the last 7 years of my life, constantly focusing on it: self-growth, relationships, spirituality, philosophy, psychology. So start to do research, start to apply that any information you learn and consume on social media or in the internet or from people or whatever conversations, apply it to your life. And that's the full integration of this. That's how you become a little bit more wise, I guess you could say. Should I get a blank or BBL? Probably not. Probably just get in the gym. Do it naturally. How do I not blow up at someone when they say something that makes me mad? Well, this is about the relationship you have with your emotions. Right now, it's non-existent. You don't know how to experience your anger without blowing up. You don't know how to experience anger on your own time without punching a wall. You need to develop a deeper relationship with your emotions and your anger. It's about sitting with the emotion and not judging it. You judge that anger or you judge that person instantly, so you just overreact. Allow yourself to be aware of the emotion you're having, and then you can experience it without immediately reacting. And Jordan, if you're having trouble doing that, shoot me a follow and a DM about this. I've done some lectures in my group coaching practice about integrating your anger and your emotions. So I'll shoot some of that stuff. Oh, H said yes, it was about lust. H, hold on, let me scroll back up and see. Thank you, but recommend to avoid thinking about lust, you have to actually find things you're passionate about in life, things you're working towards that you're so connected to that's occupying most of your mental space. What's my favorite animal? Definitely pandas. They're like so stupid, but they're so cute. Panda's my spirit animal. I've been dumped on 2 separate occasions with the same ex-girlfriend. How long will pain last? It's hard to say how long the pain's going to last. It depends on how long you've been together, what your relationship is like with her. I don't know the in-depth details. But Stefan, if you want to shoot me a follow and a DM about the situation, I'll shoot you over a 1-hour lecture, actually it's 52 minutes long, about processing pain and overcoming heartbreak, which was a 15-minute lecture, and that'll help you out. Adam said, if I'm thinking she's the one, might this be true, or am I romanticizing that? She might be. I don't know how attracted you are to her. I don't know what the dynamic is like. If you want to share that with me in the DMs, then yeah, maybe. Help me not be so scared to start a new beginning that's beneficial but different, so it's so scary. Yeah, you have to get out of your comfort zone and feel the fear. And also, there's excitement in that fear, especially if you know this is going to be beneficial for you. So take the small steps possible. So you can still be scared about it and do it anyway. I love your eyes. Appreciate it. My mom gave them to me. I mean, funny enough, me and my girlfriend, we don't have the exact same eyes, but we both have like blue eyes. It's like a slight different shade of blue, but how do you be sad but not look sad? That's hard to do because I don't hide my emotions. If I'm sad, people know about it. So allow yourself to experience your sadness. There's nothing wrong with not being in a good mood 24/7 and putting on a mask. Yeah, H, if you want to shoot me a follow and a DM, I also did a lecture around love versus lust. I can shoot that over to you. A lot of lectures I'm going to send over to you guys in the DMs. Is it truly damaging to continually chase dopamine? Well, you're not chasing dopamine. You're chasing certain activities. What are those activities? That's the question. Because you can get dopamine naturally from things that are beneficial and things that will drain you. Do you know what to do to avoid feeling embarrassed when you're in public? Well, what are you embarrassed about? The way you talk, the way you act, the way you present yourself? The embarrassment stems from somewhere. Mehdi said, I'm a young man and I want to learn social skills. What would be your best social skill tip? Um, Start to ask people how their day is going, and that's it. Makes you feel a little bit more comfortable. Also, start to develop a deep realm of knowledge on things that you care about. And also reading body language. That's going to be a good step, because then you can read what people are feeling and then kind of cater to that in conversation. And Mehdi, if you want to shoot me a follow and a DM about this, I'd love to point you even more in the right direction. It's already midnight here. Wow. I don't know where you are. Best way to beat anxiety is games, or no? What do you mean beat anxiety is games? You mean like playing video games? No, that's just avoiding the anxiety. There's integrating the anxiety and there's avoiding the anxiety. Are there any moose in my area? No, there's no moose where I live. How to be more positive every day and disciplined in life. When you wake up tomorrow morning and the day after that and the day after that, before you just jump out of bed and start your day, think to yourself and say it out loud. I'm grateful I woke up today. I'm blessed to be able to work today. I'm blessed to be able to build. And that'll give you a little bit more desire to do this stuff. I'm constantly going on and off from working out and it's affecting me, Brandon said. How do I motivate myself? You have to connect deeper to this. If you're just like, oh, I want to go to the gym more, but I'm not able to be motivated to go, there's no deep vision around it. Why do you want to go to the gym? Do you want to lose weight? Do you want to gain muscle? Let's say you're overweight and you want to go to the gym more. Motivating yourself doesn't just say, I need to lose weight. It's, hey, if I lost weight, I'd be able to get out of bed in the morning without struggling. If I lost weight, women would actually be attracted to me. If I lost weight, you see what I'm doing? Come up with like 15 reasons that you actually connect to. And that'll help you motivate yourself, because it's like, now I have a reason for doing it, not just because I'm doing it. Because everyone knows it's healthy to go to the gym, but that's not enough to get you to go and do it. You have to have your own personal reasons that you really connect to. Someone on YouTube said create a daily schedule. That can very much help too. How to make a hard decision. I need to leave my trusted job. Or do you have another job lined up, or are you just quitting and you don't know what you're doing? Because maybe you should stay for a little longer before you quit. I don't know what the situation is, Webriser. So if you want to shoot me a DM about this, I'd love to dive into it with you. Yes, that would be great, sir. Highly appreciated. Yeah, absolutely. Shoot me a DM. I'll get back to you. You have a birthmark on your face. That's okay. My girlfriend has a little scratch scar on her face right here. She cut herself with her nails when she was like a newborn. She has a little scar. I still think she's just as attractive. Doesn't matter to me. That's character, if anything. Why is everyone's asking the same? Wait a minute. Oh, there it is. My weight is 38. What do you mean your weight is 38? All right, for those of you guys that are spamming the same question, please just throw your question down one time. Sent a DM, brother. Sounds good. Is life the scariest thing ever? I mean, anything bad can happen. I mean, yeah, life is scary. It's also exceptionally beautiful. Just as anything bad could happen anytime, anything exceptionally positive could happen too. The cool thing is to a certain degree we have control. Not entirely, of course. Like, every time you go and drive a motor vehicle, there's a chance that you could get in an accident and die. Like, hopefully that doesn't happen to any of us, but there's always a chance. You walk outside, you walk down your stairs, there's a chance you could fall and, like, fall the wrong way, right? It's like, anything's possible, but you can't keep focusing on that. How to know if I'm being benched by a guy? He stops giving you attention and stops putting in effort. Juan said, who's this old guy typing that? It's just someone trolling. People, there's like 14-year-olds who go on TikTok Live. They put like a 90-year-old person as a profile picture and then ask questions that a 90-year-old would not be asking. So I just ignore those comments. How to be respectful by people? You mean respectful to people? What can you rephrase that? What is it? 2 o'clock? What else do I have to do? No. I have sessions from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. today. So, let's see. Should I make fried noodles? Sure. How are you today? Good, how are you? How to really move on? Well, it depends on who you're trying to move on from. How to beat laziness? You're not just lazy for the sake of being lazy. You're running away from something. You're avoiding something. You don't have a deep connection to the thing you're trying to actually do. How to make people respect you? You can't make people respect you. It's always their decision. Even if you become a respectable individual, people will still disrespect you. For example, I think it's decently respectable for what I do for work, helping you guys out, running my coaching practice. Some people think that's stupid and I'm not qualified and it's immature, right? What am I going to do? Convince them to respect me? No. I'm going to let them have their opinions and not talk to them. That's it. You need help with your spirituality? Shoot me a DM about that. Welcome in, everybody. How to become handsome like you? I appreciate that. I try to work out, but my facial features are just me showering and doing basic things to take care of myself. Mina said, do you do life insurance? I do not. I run my coaching practice and I run a marketing agency. I do not do life insurance. And I do not want to if you're trying to pitch me on it. So don't try doing that. Hello. Happy Valentine's Day. That's tomorrow for me. Have I been to Africa? No, not yet. One of my clients said they'll show me around when I go once. Any advice on someone who just turned 17? Start to get really serious of, hey, do I want to go to university? What do I want to do? Look into different industries, become passionate about things. Do I want to start a business? You want to get clear on these things now. Do I move on or keep waiting for blank? I don't know who that is. No, I'm not. I just saw a life coach that thought of life insurance. Oh, yeah, no, I don't do life insurance. I know people that do, but no, I don't do it. Everyone's selling life insurance nowadays. Welcome in. Am I Christian? I am not, but I do love the biblical narratives. When's the middle age crisis, and what age do you what age do you think the middle age crisis is at? I don't know. For a lot of people, it's like 30, 35, 40. 30 to 40 years old is when people usually start freaking out. But doesn't mean you have to freak out. Just if it comes up, you deal with it. Don't project things into your future. I'm turning 18. I'm smart and self-aware of life, but I'm lazy with education, even though I'm smart. Well, maybe you're lazy with academics because school isn't in alignment with you. It wasn't for me. I would say I'm a decently intelligent individual. I'm not the smartest guy on the planet by any means. But, you know, I know my stuff. And I dropped out of university. I hated school my whole life. So maybe it's not for you. Again, that's not me trying to project that onto you and say it's not for you. Just something to ponder about. What should I do career-wise? What should I do if the career I'm passionate about won't lead to financial stability? Art, by the way. Well, here's the thing. Art can be art can be in music, it could be in painting, it could be in creativity. I would say me coaching is an art. I'm constantly creating in the sessions with my clients. I'm not just reciting things. Sometimes I recite things. But most of the time, we're creating together, right? So it's like anything, what you care about is creativity. You want to find something creative, Moon, and you can make money while doing that. Gloria said, do you believe in Jesus? Personally, no. I feel less alone, even more now. Awesome to hear. Feel free to shoot me a follow. You're studying graphic design? Are you in the US or are you in a different country? Bro, as a student, how should I start a business? Well, it depends what business you want to start, because certain businesses, you need to work for 12 hours a day, and you can't do it while you're in school. There's certain ones that you can. Oh, should you start a business? Well, it depends on what you're going to school for. Like, what's your vision with this? Should I keep chasing my dream to be a footballer? I'm 17. Well, I don't see why not. If you're exceptionally good at it. My brother doesn't play professionally, but he has like 50,000 followers on TikTok and probably like more on Instagram. And he's currently in Los Angeles right now. And the guy flew him out, paid for his hotel, and paid him a lot of money to be there for the week. So my brother does, but he coaches professionally. But he doesn't coach. He coaches professional players, but not teams and stuff. So, but if you want to be the football itself, like, if you can get there, you can get there. Of course, it's going to be difficult, but doesn't mean you can't do it. Does it mean something when my dad will buy me flowers every once in a while and be nice? I can't read that first part. I can't say it on here. It is a little, well, if he's that, question is, why are you still in communication with him all the time? What's going on, Cody? Jose, are you married? No, but I'm in an exceptionally fulfilling relationship. What makes a person fully developed in every area of life? That's a good question. I don't know if we ever get fully developed, but we do get more passionate, more filled with happiness, contentment, values. So it's not about being fully developed. It's about, hey, I have a beautiful relationship. I feel confident within myself. I'm chasing things I'm passionate about. I have a great job. I have a great business. Like, that's how you're constantly knowing you're building. But I don't think there's perfection here. How to deal with a relationship where your feelings aren't reciprocated enough. I think you asked this earlier. If your feelings are not being reciprocated, you might be in the wrong relationship. It's not your job to convince them to feel something for you. They either don't do or they don't. Is harboring feelings a good choice to just cast them to the side? Probably not. But I don't know what the situation is for you. All right, so let's see. Jog the track 10 rounds. Very nice. You have a relationship question. Sounds good. Throw it down below. I'm having a little doubt about taking a master's degree. Do you have something to tell me about it? Well, what's the master's degree for? Are you going to utilize it? What are you afraid about, particularly with it? How do I gain confidence to talk to someone at a bar or a party? The confidence comes from you knowing that you are who you say you are, that you are somebody worthy of having an in-depth conversation with a girl and have her be very attracted to you, right? You have to be you have to feel you're worthy of this. You got to work on your internal dialogue, the way that you view the perception of yourself and how you present yourself to people. Appreciate the gift, Cody. All right, 33 from Indonesia. Sounds good. Are European or American men worth it? If you're generalizing people to just say American men or European men, you're probably already in a dangerous place, because you're generalizing an entire country with millions of people and saying, oh, are this man worth it? Like, I don't think you're asking me the right question. Question is, what values do I want in a man, and who cares where he's from, right? Do we connect? That's the question to be asking. Why does my friend keep painting herself as the victim and painting me as the villain? Well, I don't know what's the situation. How are they doing this? What makes a person truly mature? They're able to disagree with you respectfully. They're able to have an open perspective. And you guys are able to... Commitment is in the equation. They're constantly growing. That's something that's maturity. Kitsy said, Elder Brad. Am I that old? It's hard for me to think positive. I imagine worse scenarios, bad things, that everything will end. Well, that's because you're not living. You're just living in your head. You're not experiencing reality. You got to start doing more things. Okot said, I'm available to make you a free website. I already have someone making me a website, but I appreciate it. I'm in Colombia, study data analyst, and I want to move out to make my internship. Awesome. Liana said, oh. Yeah, Liana, if you want to shoot me a DM about this, you could find a man that's right for you. Would love to dive into it with you. I always feel like I'm not enough. Okay. I always feel like I'm not enough. That led me to not even try. Well, you have to start trying. Because this idea that you have of you not being enough is just your perception. It's the identity that you're creating for yourself every day. It's not true. You only believe it to be true because you're reinforcing it to be true through your lack of action. Start to take action that naturally builds and integrates the confidence for yourself, and you'll find that it won't be as bad, and you'll be able to have people that actually appreciate you. But first, start to appreciate yourself. Some advice for mental toughness. You have to actually do activities that are difficult. For example, what I would do when I was 16 and got into self-development, I would wake up every single day in the winter and instantly go into a cold shower. I would go to the gym in the morning. Like, do things that are difficult, that benefit you. That's how you build mental toughness in other areas of life, too. You're welcome, Brad, for staying with me the last 2 months. Of course. Liana said you're right. Yeah, Liana, if it resonates, shoot me a follow and shoot me a DM about this. Would love to dive into it with you. How to stop yearning on someone? Or leaning on someone? Okay, can you rephrase that? She did things that hurt me, and every time I confront her, she makes herself be the victim. That's not somebody you can help if they refuse to have an open and honest conversation with you. Should I follow what my family wants, or should I do what makes me happy? You already know the answer to that question. Do what makes you happy. And then your family will be happy, because they don't always know exactly what's right for you. But don't just reject what they say. Is a soft-spoken guy a red flag? No, not necessarily. He might be a little bit more shy, but doesn't mean he's not going anywhere in life. But look at his other qualities, too. Is it a good idea to enroll in secondary medical school and later law school? If you're going to utilize what you're getting the certification and degree for, then yes. If you're not going to utilize it, then you're probably wasting your time. Hey, do you deal with teens with mental health struggles? I do. Now, in my coaching practice, I only work with people over 18, but in the DMs, yes, I had a lot of struggles when I was that age. So, would be more than happy to help you out in the DMs, Charlie. Is stoicism essential in this generation? Not being fully stoic, but adopting components of stoicism, it is important, for sure. Fight for love, no sacrifice, no victory. How do I find a boyfriend without having to make the first move? Well, here's the thing. Sometimes you have to make the first move. Maybe there's a cute guy when you're at the mall or out to eat with your friends and he doesn't see you. So he's not going to make the first move. Go up to him and have a conversation. But if you want to find a guy without having to go up to him, when a guy is making eye contact with you and you find him attractive, look at him back and smile. You can even do one of these, but some guys won't find that attractive. Be like, oh, she's like one of those. But give him a smile. It'll invite him to come over. How do we know it's time to leave work-related? You just dread going there. You can't stand it. And you don't care about it, what you're building. You have no friends because of your acne scars. That's not true. Your friends don't care how attractive you are. Your friends care about your character. Now, relationship stuff of romantically, okay, maybe there's stuff there. Charlie said in my coaching practice, I don't work with people who are under 18, but if you're 15 years old and you want to shoot me a DM about something, I'd be more than happy to give you some advice in the DMs. How can you deal with people who have a very aggressive behavior and learn to understand them? You have to have conversation with them and confront that aggression, because if they're just aggressive about everything, you can't keep putting up with that. It's not healthy. Appreciate the gift applesauce. How do you know why every time I try to tell a funny story, I stutter and even mispronounce some words? Because you feel like you're listing off a funny story because you're reciting it and you're trying to get more attention, prove something to somebody. You're not doing it out of the sake of just doing it to do it. It's like this planned thing. And you don't feel confident in what you're speaking about. That's why you keep stuttering. What if someone is mentally insane but soft, and accused but they are normal? Can you rephrase that question? In the process of finding my first apartment to move into for the first 2 years of college, tips. Tips for university: meet as many people as possible. Go up to as many people. Hey, I'm new here. What's your name? Right? Just start conversations, see where it leads. Appreciate the gifts, applesauce. Hey, appreciate it. How do I deal with constant envy from other people? Are you sure it's envy, or are you being a little bit egotistical? Because you could be. I was that for a long time. Some people still think I am. I don't understand what you're saying. Okay. Where am I from? The U.S. What should I do against a blank and repressive system that, um, okay, I don't think that's a legit comment. What made me become a life coach? I was diagnosed with depression at 13, dealt with it until I was 16. And then I got obsessed with self-development, completely to transform my life. So then I decided to start my coaching practice and help other people. Yahoo Yajuj said you saying you like Nietzsche. I haven't read his stuff. How to persevere with going to the gym? I'm bad at it. You have to actually connect to why you're going to the gym, not just the surface level. I want to lose weight. I want to gain muscle. You have to. How much weight do I want to lose? How much muscle do I want to gain? What's the purpose of me being here? I want to be more attractive to people. I want to feel better energetically. Like, you got to connect to these deep reasons. You're going to be committed in the gym. Am I American? I believe so. Hanny said, should I feel bad if I don't like having a relationship if I'm in my 20s? Well, Hanny, when you say I don't like having a relationship if I'm in my 20s, are you saying I'd rather just hook up with people in my 20s and they get serious about dating in my 30s? If you're in that boat, you're sabotaging yourself. If right now in your life you just don't want a relationship, that's fair. But if you're like, hey, I just need to wait till I'm 30, you might be like, what if your partner walks into your life tomorrow? You're just gonna reject him? The right guy for you? You're just gonna reject him because I'm still in my 20s? Doesn't make sense. If it's not your number one priority, I'm not here to change your perspective on it. But you might want to be a little bit more open with it. What do you recommend for dealing with rejection? Rejection is redirection. It's pointing you in a place where you're supposed to go. Am I Christian? No. Let's see. In your opinion, are men in America, or at least where you are, worth it? I know I'm worth it. That's why my relationship partner is exceptionally connected to me. I know a lot of men that aren't worth it, and I know a lot of them that are. It's depending on the individual. It's not like where they live. All right, let's see. How do you find motivation within yourself when you feel like nothing is driving you? You have to find things that you connect to and just try new things, random things, new sports, new activities, look into new industries, hobbies, professions. My mom doesn't support me because I like girls and I'm a girl and my girlfriend broke up with me. Shoot me a DM about this. I'll help you out. Dude, my neck is killing me. Oh my god, dude. Because I keep looking down and I'm like leaning. Oh, Jesus. I ask that because the norms and values there differ. Yeah, I mean, look, I'll be honest with you. America doesn't really have a culture. It's just like individuals who have culture. Like, America doesn't have a culture. Everyone's all over the place here. Nobody really stands for anything. Well, I don't want to say it. People stand for things. It's just like America doesn't. It's just kind of the way it is now. Everyone's fighting each other all the time. Just stupid. Was trying so hard to lose weight for 2 months, and then one girl told me I'm fat, and I gave up. Why are you letting somebody else's perception of you destroy your vision for yourself? You're trying to lose weight, and somebody called you fat. What if you are overweight? Don't let that get to you, though. You're changing that. You're growing. You're going to feel better about yourself. Don't let them influence you. Do it for you. A said, am I blocked? You mean, did I block you? No. Sir, can I ask you a question? Yes, that's what we're doing here. What if I'm getting bad again? What do you mean getting bad? How do I find my people? I feel like there's not any like-minded people near me because they just hook up and party. Wow, that's a really good question. I have the perfect place for you. You ready? 2 things. First one, just start to go up to people and just have conversations and see like where that leads. Second, I just started a free women's coaching group with women that are all focused on self-growth, relationships, spirituality, improving themselves. So if you're looking to meet more women that are in tune with this stuff like you are, shoot me a DM. The women's group is completely free. We got like 15 girls in there already, where it's going to be free until there's like maybe like 30, 40 girls in there. But like if you get in now, it's always going to be free. So I have the people for you. They're here. Online or in America? What do you mean? Put me up? Nah, man, we got too many people in here. We're not having people on the panel today. Shoot me a question down below or shoot me a DM about it. The classes. Oh, the classes of what I do? Oh, yeah, we do it online, Liana. The Zoom calls and the women's group I run, we do it online. So, something you want to dive into, you could definitely shoot me a DM about it. Soomball said, I want to join that group. The women's group? Shoot me a DM about it. Yeah, if you're a woman on here and you want to join the women's group, just shoot me a DM. I developed anxiety when I isolated... Oh, hold on. Developed anxiety when I isolated myself, forced myself to start talking to people. And I developed... Let me read this again. I developed anxiety when I isolated myself, forced myself to start talking to people, and I'm changed. That's beautiful. Yeah, gotta get yourself out of your comfort zone. How to speak well? Don't be afraid to pause. Don't be afraid to, when you feel like using filler words, take a second to readjust your thoughts. Leona said, do I have to be a specific age group for that? Usually you have to be at least 18 for my coaching practice if you're going to be in the women's group. My girl has ADHD and we live far apart. How far is far apart? King, what would you do when you're okay? King, what would you do if when you okay, so he said yes, would go? That is not English. I can't answer that question. Feel like I'm getting bad mentally. What's going on mentally for you? And Brianna, feel free to shoot me a follow and a DM about it. We'd love to help you out. John on YouTube said, will getting fired get respect from my family? I don't know about that one, buddy. I have a lack of great communication, like just chatting with people is a problem. Okay. Where do you feel like the lack of communication stems from? Do you feel stuck, like you're not confident enough to talk to people? You don't know what you're talking about? Things of that nature. Liana said, oh, me, question mark? What do you mean? Oh, yeah, Liana, I was saying, yeah, for the women's group, you got to be at least 18. Yeah, anxiety and depression. Okay, yeah, I used to suffer from depression when I was younger. I was able to overcome it, so I'd love to help you out with it. Elizabeth said, be my therapist. I'm not a therapist, but what I do is therapeutic. So if you are interested in coaching, I always do a free intro coaching session. And Elizabeth, we have a free women's group that we're starting. So shoot me a DM about it. May I DM you about something I keep having recurring in my life? Yes, you can. Savage, what's your question? Oh, no, I'm not answering that question. That's wild, bro. Okay, thank you. I might join, but I feel a bit shy. Yeah, Liana, you don't have to join instantaneously. Just shoot me a DM. We can kind of just start the conversation. I'll fill you on the details, and we make you feel comfortable. Don't worry. How long? We've been on live for almost 2 hours. Damn. Liv said dating. What about dating? How old do I have to be to DM you? Any age. I just don't work with people in my coaching practice under 18. How to be better. What area of your life you're trying to be better in? How's the weather? It's cold, but it's sunny. So I'm able to... I'm a little chilly, but I'm able to exist out here. Taking a trip up north tomorrow, so I don't know if it's probably gonna be colder up there, unfortunately. But there's actually no clouds in the sky today. Now that I think about it, can you guys see this? There's no clouds in the sky. This is actually beautiful. It's pretty dope. Pretty dope. I'm from the U.S. You DM me for the women's group? Sounds good. Do I have a date tomorrow? I do. Me and my girl are taking a nice trip. Lucky it rains a lot in the UK. Yeah, I've heard. So there's all snow. There's snow on the ground though. You guys see this? There's snow everywhere. Where do I start if I want to change the way I think specifically views? Um, you have to see where you're convincing yourself something is true when it's not. And you're just constantly stacking evidence in one area but refusing to address the other part. And you have to like go out and experience more of life to change your viewpoint as well. Like if you think people are bad and you're just watching the news all the time, you have to go and start to talk to people in reality and realize it's not true. When will you be doing live again next time? I go live 7 days a week. Tomorrow, since I'm going to be traveling, I'm not sure if I'm going to have a chance to, but we'll see. How does one become a life coach? For me, I was diagnosed with depression at 13, dealt with it until I was 16, and then for the last 7 to 8 years of my life, I've just been obsessed with this stuff and was able to transform my life. So I've helped over 100 men and women in my coaching practice transform their lives too. But I started coaching because I was going to be a therapist, and then I dropped out of university because I hated school my entire life, and I was learning more about psychology on my own time. And one of my first business coaches introduced the idea of coaching, and I was like, I never really heard about that before. So I'm super blessed that he brought it up to me because I've been able to help so many people. Essa Puto on YouTube said, "Hey man, you're awesome. I appreciate you." For anyone on YouTube that's curious about the questions, they're from TikTok. I have my other phone over here. You guys are so lucky. Appreciate you. Elizabeth said, "How many women are in the women's group?" Right now we have 15 or 16 women in there, I think. And I think I've about 2 more that I'm adding in today. How do I go outside to enjoy the cold weather? Bundle up like I am and go outside. How do you think I can learn to communicate? Start to have more conversations with people. A lot of us aren't even having conversations, and we're just like, how do I communicate? Start talking to people. See where your difficulties are and address them as they come up. Like if I say hi to someone, I only ask what I want from them, and I'm not able to build the conversation. Well, yeah, because you're thinking selfishly about it. You're like, what do I get from the conversation instead of how could I provide value to them? How could I get really curious? Ask people curious questions. What do you do for work? Do you enjoy it? Are you happy? Like ask any question. I might DM you. When will you be able to reply because of time zones? If you DM me now, I could probably get to you right after I finish the TikTok live. Good night, Brad. See ya. Where am I? I'm outside. Am I AI? No, I'm not AI. Are you kidding me? We're seriously asking that? I miss a comment. I have difficulty from small talk. Yes, I find I have difficulty with small. I used to have difficulty with small talk. But here's the thing: you don't need to take thing. You could start off with small talk and then take it to a deep conversation. Here's what I do: I ask people what they do for work, and my next question always is, "Do you enjoy it?" And then depending on their answer, I take that into a conversation. It's okay. Why is it just okay? Right? Then it becomes a deep conversation instantaneously. So it doesn't have to stay on the small talk level. I used to rage out all the time and like, oh my god, everyone's just so surface level. I just wasn't initiating enough deep conversations. What do you think about using psychology in our life? It's very important to understand it and utilize it. Any advice on how to stop thinking negatively about myself? You have to analyze where they came from, because the negative thoughts didn't come from you, they came from someone else. Somebody convinced you that this is the way you need to think about things. What do I need to do to become a life coach? Shoot me a DM about that. How do you deal with feeling like your entire year has been ruined by one person who you keep seeing? Stop seeing them continuously if you feel like your life is being ruined by them. It's usually not going to be a good idea. Not going to be a good idea. All right. Let's see. Should I communicate with people or just sit in a room and play games? Communicate with people. How can I do meditation? 2 types of meditations you should start with. One of them, sit down and just focus on your breath. Calms the nervous system. Another one, focus on, there's like this little cloud exercise I do. There's a lot of clouds that come up in your mind. Imagine the clouds as when you have a thought come up and you're trying to just be present. Have the thought, label it on a cloud, and just watch it calmly come by and calmly leave. Don't judge it, just acknowledge that it's there. So that's a first intro realms of meditation I'd suggest. I mean, in school, you keep seeing them in school and they're in one of your classes. Well, if you feel like they're ruining your life, you'd still stop having conversation with them. Doot said, how can I be a Sigma, bro? Start to become passionate in your life and just share that with people. Any dating tips? Yeah. Where are you? What area of life are you in? What's going on? What if I've hung out with people 10 times in the last 6 years and now I don't even have online friends? Start to approach more people so you can make more friends. Start going to the gym. Someone's your age, initiate a conversation. Hey, I'm trying to meet new people. What's your name? Nothing wrong with that. How can I avoid the addiction? Just always tell myself this is the last time. You have to understand what's gravitating you towards it. What's the pain you're refusing to address? What's the area of your life you haven't been paying attention to? What are you running away from? It's a good place to start. Anything you suggest on how to be a life coach? You got to shoot me a DM about that, because there's a lot of that goes into that. What can I do after getting rejected by the girl that I love? If you got rejected by a girl that you love, you don't love her. Well, if you've been in a relationship for 5 years and then she rejected you in some capacity, I guess that's different. But if you just like a girl and then she rejected you after you had a conversation with her, you did not love her. Do not pretend that you do. You don't know her. You can't love somebody without knowing them. What should I do if it's hard to communicate? I say weird things. I mean, you're in control of what you say. What's the weird things that you say? Can you sing happy birthday to me? Happy birthday, JJ. I'm not going to sing, but happy birthday. Glad to have you with us. Georgia said, why are you not replying to me? If I'm not replying to you, it's either because TikTok flagged your comment and I can't see it, or you threw a troll comment down below and I ignored you. Have I dealt with social anxiety before? For my whole life, up until about 2-3 years ago. I was deathly afraid to open my mouth and have a conversation with somebody I didn't already know. I still get nervous sometimes, but I met my girlfriend because she was a cute girl on the other side of the coffee shop, and I just, when she was with 5 of her friends, just went up to the table and started talking to all of them and asked her for her number. So, yeah, I used to experience social anxiety every single day of my life, and now it's like, let's talk to more people, let's expand, let's grow. We need more people like you. I appreciate that. How do I break up with my boyfriend that loves me way too much? Whoa, hold on. Your boyfriend loves you way too much? You might be... I don't want to label anything. But if your boyfriend loves you too much, you just aren't attracted to him. Or you have some attachment issues that might stem from childhood. But Miriam, if you want to shoot me a follow and a DM about this, I'd love to dive into it with you. Dan said, what do you for real doing this? Be influencer and get money, or basically for fun? So I run my coaching practice. So I help people change their lives professionally. And then on TikTok Live, I like to give people value for free. How did I overcome it? Like conversation starters. I mean, like conversation starters are just like, you could choose any one of those. It's more about the internal dialogue, the belief you have about yourself that stops you from talking to people. It's your perception of you. So that needs to be shifted. And a lot of that is done by taking more action. How to decide if I'm truly lazy or exhausted. Well, laziness is simply occurring when you don't see the purpose in doing the thing to get the outcome because you don't care about the outcome. And so you're probably exhausted. So, Kim, if you want to shoot me a follow and a DM about why you feel like you're exhausted, we'll let him dive into it with you. Cody said, "Hey, Brad, appreciate what you're doing. I appreciate you. And I appreciate you saying that. How do I forgive my parents and myself? What are you trying to forgive them and yourself for? Why is my comment pinned? Because when I answer people's questions, I pin them so everybody else can see what question I'm answering. Best ways to fix dopamine addiction or bad habits seems simple enough, but it's low-key hard. Yeah, Ray, you ready? Go and stare at a wall for 30 minutes. Put your phone in another room and go stare at a wall for 30 minutes. Then you get to face your thoughts that you've been avoiding. But you don't want to do that, right? Emotional parentification. Is that a question? I had 3 dates with a guy I liked. He suddenly started ghosting. I don't know how to forget him. Well, feel the grief from this. You envisioned being with him in some capacity, and now he's not there anymore. Don't run away from the emotions. They allow you to actually process this. What to do with any therapist I see? I'm too self-aware and what they tell me doesn't work. Vanilla, if you're with a therapist and you're too self-aware and what they tell me doesn't work, I mean, look, not every therapeutic method is for everybody. So maybe what they're suggesting doesn't work for you, or you're just not taking any action on it. I don't know what they're telling you to do. But Vanilla, I'm not a therapist. I've helped over 100 men and women in my coaching practice transform their lives. A lot of the stuff I do is very action-based. So if you're looking to really solve this stuff for yourself, Vanilla, feel free to shoot me a follow and a DM just about what you're struggling with, and I'll just love to see if I can help you out with it. All right, everybody. Do you like rejection therapy? I've never done it specifically, but it could help you out. But I mean, you don't have to do rejection therapy. You could literally just start going up to people that you find attractive, asking them, if you can have their number, and take more opportunities and naturally get rejected. Or because if you're just getting rejected for the sake of doing it, yeah, it can work. It's like a lot of people do social experiments, but just start to take more opportunities. And if you get rejected, then you get rejected. And if you don't, then cool. You now have a new friend or a new opportunity, whatever the case is. Yo, YouTube comments are going crazy. What the hell are you guys talking about? I love someone, but we have a different life. He's a diplomat kid, but our moms are best friends. I hate my parents for making my childhood bad, and I want to forgive them, but I'm not able to. Yeah, Mr. Bandari, please feel free to shoot me a follow and a DM about what happened in your childhood that you're trying to forgive your parents for. We can dive into it. We shall dive into it. So many troll comments on YouTube. YouTube wonders why I pay more attention to the TikTok comments. It's because people just spam comments like this. That's why. Sorry, YouTube. Join the TikTok. Mighty.Brad. Damn! That dude's zooming. You don't have a TikTok account? Well, feel free to stay in here. Jason said, Brad, I find you so attractive. Oh, okay, buddy. All right. All right, calm down. Calm down. All right, we're going to stay on for about 10 more minutes. Ask some more questions, guys. Then I got to get ready. I got to eat, and then I got sessions from 4 to 9 p.m. And then my girl's coming over. Yay. How to be attractive. Well, you should get in the gym, develop some passions, develop some skills, your conversations. There's a lot of stuff to develop. She said she needs time to think after I asked her out. It's been 1.5 months. She doesn't want to be with you. Sorry to break it to you. What does snow feel like? It's cold. I don't know how to describe the feeling. It's very soft. It just kind of melts. Familiar with IFS, intersection between IFS and Christianity. I'm not familiar with that. I returned to high school to pursue my dream for medicine, but I feel so behind. I mean, look, maybe you are not as developed as certain other people, but that shouldn't stop you. Why do you consider yourself a good worker in this field of work? Because when my clients work with me, I actually transform their lives. I would be bad at what I do if nobody benefited from it. Jason, do you seriously have time to comment this stuff on YouTube? It's actually nuts. All right, Andres, stop commenting that. I'm gonna block you. You have about 5 seconds. But I feel so behind. Yeah, I mean, look, it's difficult. It's difficult to feel like the emotions about that. But you could still do it anyway. If you fall on the snow, will you get hurt? No. It'll just be cold. What do you think of the Therians? I don't know what Therians are. What time is it? It's about 3 p.m. my time. I find it easier to talk to guys than girls since I grew up as a tomboy. Yeah, I mean, look, it could also reveal something deeper, which is like you have a negative association to your femininity, right? Maybe it's you feel uncomfortable being a woman. I'm not going to make any assumptions, but it could also be like, hey, yeah, I feel more comfortable with the masculine side of me because I reject the feminine. And then it's about reintegrating the feminine into your life. What's my job? I run my coaching practice. What's your favorite achievement you've made another person get better at? It's a good question. I've helped people overcome a lot of things, and I've helped people get into relationships, confront very dark parts of their nature. I don't know if there's a particular thing, but I had one client one time who he literally did one session with me, one singular session. And then he calls me up a month later, and he's just like, dude, I got in the gym, I quit vaping, I'm now talking to someone new. I'm standing up for myself at work. I'm like, yo, this is awesome. I didn't even know I had that big of an impact on him. Also, that's like the cool thing about like doing these TikTok lives. Like, there's people that I give advice to, and then like 3 days later, they come back in their live and they're like, hey, like you answered the question about this, and like I fixed this in my relationship, and this worked. And I'm like, that makes me feel good because we're actually making a difference here. Because I mean, how many TikTok lives and things are you guys doing on TikTok? You're just scrolling. It's just brain rot. I want to make a difference for you guys. All right. Damn, all my comments moved. Hold on. Can I afford one of your sessions? You can, because my intro sessions are always completely free. So you don't need to pay me a penny. So you definitely can afford one of my sessions. All right, let's see. I will be 23 or 24. That's if I get into university, but I feel like that's late. I have a client who's 26, and he's finishing his 4-year degree. So, everyone's at a different place in life. I'm a lot more feminine now, but I still struggle for some reason. Yeah, Elizabeth, especially if we connect in the DMs and you get in the women's group, we're going to help you out with that. It's going to be a fun process. Hey, Brad, I sent you a DM. I hope you can help me. Thank you. Yeah, of course, Cody. Have you applied your own advice to yourself? Absolutely. A lot of the advice I give, I know because I directly applied to myself. Also, a lot of it's based on research and stuff like that too. But yeah, a lot of the advice I give, I've applied to myself. You like spirituality? Me too. You're not tired of standing for hours? I'm not, but my neck does really hurt. That part isn't good. I really like home, and I don't really like talking to many people. How will I meet my partner? It's not that you don't like talking to people. It's just that there's some negative association to talking to people. You're afraid of rejection. You're afraid that you won't connect with people. It's a waste of your time. See what comes up there. And feel free to shoot me a follow and a DM about this, Yugu. Maximo commented, you are 26 years old. I am not. But, okay. You're 28. I'm finishing my master's this year, but I only have 1 year of job experience. Am I cooked? I don't know what, degree or what, I don't know what you're pursuing specifically. Fix the fear of public speaking. Do it more. And get really comfortable about what you're expressing to people. You guys have to expose yourself to the things you're afraid of. Why do I suck at time management? Because your mind is all over the place. You don't know what tasks and what things to focus on. I've experienced that a lot. How to sleep well. Get blacked out blinds. So when the sun rises at 6 a.m., if you're not getting up at 6 a.m., it blocks the sun, so your mind still thinks it's nighttime, so you sleep better. Yeah, make sure you get enough sleep. How did you become a life coach? What's the path to it? I mean, for me, I studied this stuff for 7 years of my life, and then I started doing it. But studied psychology, philosophy, spirituality. I know I'm not a narcissist, but how do I know if I'm secretly one and I don't know? I mean, Maggie, it depends on what you're doing to people, what conversations you're having, what you're avoiding. So, Maggie, shoot me a follow and a DM about this, and we can dive into it. All right. We got 2 more minutes on here. Spam your questions, guys. Gave you a follow. Thanks. Sounds good. What's my dream? To keep doing what I'm doing. I'm living my dream every day. Thank you for Walter. The rest of your comment didn't go through for some reason. I just saw thank you for. What should be done if one feels subtly disrespected by a lot of people? Confront the disrespect. You slept 5 hours for 5 days. Yeah, that's why you feel tired. How can I fix my anxious attachment style? You have to confront the anxiety. You have to see where it is true and where it's not. And have conversations with your relationship partner about it. In what part are you from? I'm on the East Coast. What skills should a person have? That's up to you to decide. What's my best general advice? Have an open mind. Meaning if communication does not help the person. I like your eyes, thanks. I can't cope with slow people and get mad at them even though I love them because they're my friends. It's not about coping with it. It's about changing your relationship with this. You know, I hate to end the live when we have over 200 people in here. It's actually disappointing. Like, I don't want to leave you guys. I have sessions from 4 to 9 p.m. and I want to eat something. I want to prepare myself. I'm going to prepare myself. No, but it's crazy because when I first started coaching, obviously it was new for me, so I used to get anxious. It's like, oh, I'm talking to a new person. And now I'm just like excited to talk to people. Like I just jump in a session with someone. All right, let's dive into it. It's fun. This stuff is fun for me. You need advice. We're ending the live in a minute, so if you need further advice, shoot me a follow and shoot me a DM about it. So before I hop off the live and end it, I'll give you guys like 30 seconds if you want to shoot me a follow. If you want to see me back on this live, we go live 7 days a week. Feel free to shoot me a follow. And we may go live tomorrow. I'm not sure because I'm going to be traveling. We're going to have to see. So if I did not answer your question, shoot me a follow and shoot me a DM. I love you guys very much. I appreciate you. If you're interested in coaching, women's group, free, one-on-one sessions and stuff. I always do a free intro coaching session for free. And if you need advice, just throw it in the DMs. Appreciate you guys very much. I will see you guys soon.